Do you want to unlock your mobility and squat deeper? If so, I've got you covered in this week's video. I've talked to thousands of clients and athletes over the years, and almost every one of them wants to squat deeper with less pain or restriction. And while there are tons of gimmicky ways you can do this, or methods that might work for a few minutes, most of them just don't work over the long haul. So if you're serious about unlocking your mobility and learning how to squat deep, here are 8 things you need to start doing today. A great reset or breathing exercise you can use to unlock your squat is a chair-supported wall squat. So in this case, all you need, a wall, a chair, and you're good to go. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my hips up against the wall and slide down just a little bit so I'm in kind of a mini squat position. I'm reaching long through my hands and I'm thinking about taking a nice breath in. When I do that, I'm trying to fill the space in between my shoulder blades. So inhale, exhale, reach long. Inhale, exhale, reach long. If you're doing this right, you should probably feel some quads, some abs, and you're gonna feel a nice stretch through your upper and your lower back. An awesome activity for resetting your body, opening up your upper back, and getting your body prepared to squat deep is a supine reaching external rotation. So lots of words there, don't worry about it, just do the exercise. So you're gonna lay on your back. Feet are flat on the floor, nice and balanced. You are gonna reach long with your arms and turn your palms back towards your face. Once you're here, think about reaching long, take a nice breath in, fill the back, exhale and reach long. Again, inhale, exhale, reach long. If you're not feeling this in the right areas, you can put a small ball in between your knees, but I'll often do 2 to 3 sets of 5 breaths immediately before I get into my warm-up. Another fantastic activity for deepening your squat is called a rock and roll. Now, what you'll see in a lot of cases is if somebody is like really stiff, they're really compressed on the backside of their body, it pushes everything forward, and that's gonna limit their ability to bend their ankles, knees, and hips. So we need to open up this upper back. When we do that, they can shift their center of gravity back, it unlocks the ankles, knees, and hips, and ultimately will allow you to squat deeper. So here's how I do it. When you take your hands, you will put them behind your thighs. You are just gonna roll front to back. Try and make this as smooth as you can. Don't overthink it. I generally go for about 8 to 10 reps. If you really want to take it to the next level, you can work on going like side to side, but don't get too crazy too soon. Just work on the front to back variation to start, and then you can get cooler from there. So the next activity we're going to use to improve your squat depth is a backward sled drag. Now you may be thinking, how does this compute? How does this fit in? But it's playing on that same theme of opening up this back side of the body. So I'm gonna use a TRX attachment here. I'm gonna think about making my arms as long as I can and creating space through the back side of my body. I'm gonna sit down into it and I'm just gonna try and maintain that space as I take little baby steps backward. I should feel a nice stretch between my shoulder blades, even up into my traps a little bit. But if I do this before I squat, it really unlocks everything and improves my squat depth. Another fantastic exercise for opening up your hips and improving your squat mobility is a PVC squat. So in this case, what you're gonna do, I use a little ramp here. You'll find out why here in just a little bit. But I like to use the ramp. I'm reaching long, and then I'm trying to sit as straight down as I can into the bottom. Here, I've got my knees over my toes. I'm up nice and tall, and I'm taking nice breaths in. Trying to fill front to back, and trying to keep everything stacked throughout. If I do this right, I'm gonna feel a nice expansion throughout my chest and my rib cage, and I'm also gonna feel my quads burning. That's telling me I'm doing all the right things and unlocking the right muscles. Our next activity is a suspension trainer iso squat. So I like to think of this as kind of the next level of the PVC iso squat. It's also really great if you have what's called like a down pump handle or a kyphosis. If you're getting pulled forward, this just helps kind of lift everything back up, and it helps create some space and some length back through your spine. So in this case, what you're gonna do, you are gonna take the handles, you are going to sit down as best you can. Again, thinking triple flexion, ankle, knee, hip. The spine is long, and then once you're in this position, you're just thinking about nice full inhales and nice full exhales. You should feel a nice stretch throughout the entire back, and generally I'll just do 5 breaths every set. The next exercise is actually a strength training activity you can incorporate into your workouts that will help unlock your squat. So I just call this a squatting lat pull down. So I got my free motion machine here. I like the dual cable because it allows me to have some stretch on both sides while I'm sitting down. So in this case, I'm gonna sit down into my squat, try and relax, triple flexion, ankles, knees, hips, and then I'm gonna take a nice breath in, creating some space on the back side, and then I'm gonna exhale and pull down to the front of my rib cage. So it's reach, inhale, exhale, pull down into the front of the rib cage. When you do that, it helps drive everything back and it creates space on the back side of the body so that you can sit down deep into that squat. All right, our next tip to squatting deeper is to use an anterior load versus a posterior load. Now, that may sound really fancy. All I mean by this is, in a lot of cases, when you hear somebody talk about a squat, in most cases they're referencing a back squat. And a back squat is a fantastic exercise, but it may not be the best variation if you want to squat deep. So let me show you how this might look. When I use the barbell here, as soon as I put the weight on my back, immediately there's more compression through my upper back. I'm getting pushed forward. In a lot of cases, you're gonna dump your pelvis forward, and you can see when I'm in this position, the only place I can go is back. So if we want to improve our squat depth, let's take the bar off our back, put it on the front, go into more of a front squat position. Now immediately I'm a little bit more stacked, and this is gonna allow me to sit down a little bit easier and really express whatever mobility I have in my squat. Our final key if we want to squat deeper is to use heel elevation. Now, I was kind of already cheating. I used it on the last one because, let's be honest, I don't squat particularly well based on my body shape, so I need whatever tools I can use. But when you elevate your heels, it allows you to shift that center of gravity back, it shuts those back muscles off and allows you to squat down. So let me just give you a for instance. If I squat without a wedge, even if I've got an anterior load, okay, maybe not awful, but definitely not great. The second I come up onto a slant board, and this is only a 10-degree slant, immediately I can just sit down. It's so much more effortless, and it's not just a hinge, it's more of a true squat where I'm loading my ankles, my knees, and hips effectively. So there you have it, 8 activities you can use to unlock your mobility and squat deep. But I'm curious, which one was your favorite? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you're enjoying the content, please take 2 seconds out of your day to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Love and appreciate you.